This video has been sponsored by Beltline Hobbies and by the Canfield Train and Toy Show, October 12th, 2025 at the Canfield Fairgrounds in Ohio.
Hey everybody, it's Chris with the Cloverdale Transit Authority, and today I thought I would do a little layout update. I've been posting pictures on Facebook and Instagram, but I thought I'd do a video to talk a little bit about this. So we disassembled the Christmas village out here in our sunroom and kind of flopped the room around. So the table is actually, this is where the table was. On this side, the Christmas table kind of overlooked the porch. And so what I did was I switched everything around because this needed to be a wider table. And I'm going to kind of show about how we took this apart and how we made it wider. But basically the pink insulating foam, I had cut that down to fit, essentially to fit the folding table that is the substructure underneath this particular layout. And that's where the Christmas village was. And also, that was all I could fit into my car. Had to have that cut down at Menards. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to make this a little wider, and I kind of measured things out to make sure it would fit into the room. So this is 7 feet by 3.5 feet. And the reason I wanted to do that was originally on the Christmas village, we had our elevated 031 circle, which of course had been in the original world's smallest O-gauge layout on the table that was over here in the opposite corner. And then during Christmas, I put that back on there, but then I had MTH 031 reel tracks running, so it went underneath and looped underneath the circle. So in this case, I wanted to kind of go back to what we had with the world's smallest O-gauge layout, in which case the Lionel Fast Track went around the outside of the 031 elevated circle. So in order to do that, I needed to get this table wider. So what I did was, as I took this all apart and took all of the Christmas stuff off, I then laid the foam down, and I found the piece that got cut off, and I gaff taped it back into the back, and you can kind of see that black line where the gaff tape is. So now this is 7 feet by 3.5 feet, and it will enable the 036 fast track, is what I meant to say. 036 fast track on the outside. So I'm going to do a couple of different things with this. One, I'm incorporating some newer elements, stuff that I got, buildings. I also am incorporating some post-war stuff, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, so we've got the foam on the table, but obviously the foam is much bigger than the table. Probably sticks off there about 8 inches in the front and in the back. So the idea behind this is that it is going to be, you're going to be able to take this apart and reconfigure it. So we get back to next Christmas, we can reconfigure it, take the buildings off, put the Christmas buildings on, but I think we're still going to go with this size layout. We're not going to go back to the smaller layout with the 031 circling underneath the elevated. So anyway, so one of the things that I'm going to do is, and I'll do another layout update when we're putting this together. I've got 5 2x4s, and I'm going to lay down on their widest side, and then I'm going to use some Velcro strips to put them onto the top of the table, right to the edge, and then some leading down the middle, and then another one right on the edge, and then Velcro the foam to that. So again, you can take this all apart. It's one of the reasons why I'm not building a permanent layout table in here, and the reason I'm putting those 2x4s is so it will elevate the foam between the foam and the table, and it'll give these elevated areas so I can run power underneath there. Now I know some of you may say, well, why don't you just go get a piece of plywood and put it down on there, and that's going to give it more stability. But then I'm going to run into the same issue where I need to be able to have areas sort of gutters where I'm running wiring, and I don't really want to drill holes in this table because I may use the table for something else someday. Anyway, so as I've kind of brought this thing together, the big thing that I'm doing is I'm taking what we're going to the main scene elements, and as you can see, I don't have all the track in here. I'm just placing the curves so I know where the curves are going to be and placing the elevated. So let me talk about the track in another minute. But essentially, I'm putting in the buildings that I want to put in, a couple of MTH buildings. I'm getting these used for $10 each. They're lit buildings. This is a scene that we're already contemplating working on. The road went around the town, around these two buildings, but now that road was blocked off because the railroad came through. And so now there's a little industrious family that has put up a garden center, has rented that area for a garden center, because this end of town is just mostly people coming out to hop the train. And so that's what this town part of this is. And then I'll talk about the elevated line in that area in a minute. But yeah, so this scene is... there's a Plasticville greenhouse, which I thought was really cool. Again, that was a $10 purchase. And the family lives in this little mobile home, and they raise vegetables and flowers, and people who are coming in to go into the city through the train might stop into the drugstore, might stop into, well, this is currently a deli, but I'm actually thinking about making it, possibility of making a couple other things. And they sell flowers and vegetables, and the people come into town or come into the station area via bus or their own vehicles, and then they pick up flowers and vegetables and so forth. Also, some other accessories in the back corner. There's the rotating beacon, which is, of course, a Lionel item, post-war item. Not sure why there would be a rotating beacon in this end of town, but I like that. And so, I'll put it over there. I think everybody has the same feeling with a rotating beacon. They're not building an airstrip, but it's cool, so we go with it. Anyway, so then I'm gonna be getting some roads in here, and that's the way you actually come into this little town area. That's where the road's gonna end. Now on this end, where the elevated line is, and I'll talk about the track in a minute, but there's a reason why this switcher and truck transporting flat car is there. This little area is the Cloverdale Transit Authority scrapyard or reclamation area or a salvage yard or what have you. And this is where things are brought in to be cut up and salvaged, such as wheels and trucks, and I'm thinking about putting the shell for an old post-war steam locomotive in here somewhere if I have the room, and actually, have crews working on cutting that stuff up. So this is kind of where the switcher will sit. There is a yard light tower. Again, that's a post-war item. And then back here, recently got the Menards sand and gravel garage, but I've changed it over, of course, to Cloverdale Transit Authority. And I just have it kind of plugged in for the moment, but that will come up from the bottom. Got a few other little detail things that I've added. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then I picked up this building again, $10. This is already weathered. It is. I don't know who made this building, whether this was MTH or somebody else, but it is the office for the the salvage yard for the railroad. So I'll have a bunch of guys working in here, and you'll be able to come in there through a little driveway, and this is where they're salvaging various things for the railroad. And then back there in the corner, I got that recently. Of course, you guys probably saw the video. It's the blinking light post-war water tower, and I just thought that looked cool at the end of town. And it kind of balances out the rotating beacon. And also, just some of the things with the rotating beacon. It seems like it's awfully short back there. I may build up a little hill in that corner, and it will sit up on that hill a little bit better. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about track right now. Again, the elevated 031 circle. That's just, it doesn't obviously really go anywhere, but it's just there to give sort of texture and elevation and what have you, and it's just really cool. And after putting this stupid thing together, if you saw my video, I'm not going to build another one of these or add on to it. It is what it is. So I come around here, and there's a little area here. Obviously, my ZW transformer is down there. Probably going to get a table, a little stand to put it up on, so I can get back here a little easier. But I may put some stuff here. I may put some rock formations in here. But right now, the track doesn't go anywhere, because at this point, there will be another straight in here, and then just past the train station, there will be a left-handed 036 switch, which will be a siding that will go back into the scrapyard, and then it will have the end piece on the end of this little thing. So trains would come in here, and they would back into the scrapyard and offload whatever they have. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to have that parked there. I don't really plan on using that switch that much. It's really more decorative to show how this functions and how you actually get into this scrapyard. Then in the back, obviously, there's some stuff missing, so there'll be some straight pieces, but then I'm going to have a railroad crossing there. Not the ones with the gates, just the ones with the railroad crossing light on it, and probably have the sound turned off. So it'll just kind of activate as the trains go by, and it's just a decorative piece that will tell you, hey, this is how you get out of town or come into town. You come in there, and there will be an oval in the middle of town with maybe a little park or a statue in the middle of that. So you drive around this oval. You can park on the street. You can pull up here and park at the train platform, or a bus brings you in. And so that's how all of that track is going to go. So essentially, the track is just going to be this elevated circle and this oval with the little siding switch to handle things for the scrapyard. So anyway, at the train show, Berea Train Show yesterday, I did, other than getting this one building, which was super cool, I really love this building, I also got a lot of other little accessories, and that's kind of stopped shopping for rolling stock and locomotives, and now I'm in the scenery mode, which is great because I haven't really done, other than the Christmas Village stuff, I haven't really done any scenery since for a layout since I was in my early 20s and had an HO layout and so forth. So I'm kind of excited about getting into this, but I'll kind of show some photos of some of the things I got, just little additions, Coca-Cola machine type thing, flowers for our little garden center, and trash cans, drinking fountains, pallets, steel drums, all this type of stuff. So they're just kind of adding to it. I'm just sort of placing things out to see where it's all going to go. So the next step is going to be taking this all apart and getting those 2x4s substructure underneath there. And then Kyle at Beltline Hobbies has ordered a large roll of the grass for me. I've kind of contemplated different ways of doing this. I think that's going to be the best for what we want to do with regard to being able to transfer this over to a winter scene again. And we're going to pull this up, and we're gonna spray adhesive that, lay it down, and then I'll be able to go in and start adding roads and start adding all of the buildings and wiring them in. One thing I am going to do, because as you walk in the door to the train room. You can see the table sticks out that far, and it's got this hard square edge on it, obviously. Well, let's see, it's right about here. This is where the edge of the table is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually round this off so that it doesn't have this sticking kind of out into where people might bump into it and so forth. So I'm going to kind of round that off in, in the same type of curve as the railroad, and that way it kind of takes this sort of out of the walking path that people might have coming into the room. So anyway, that is the layout such as it is. Sorry, it's such a terribly gloomy day here in Ohio, but that happens all the time. If you live here, you know. Anyway, I appreciate all your support. Don't forget to click on like if you like this video. Click on subscribe to the channel. And more importantly, comment and share this video. Comment on this video and share this video. That really helps us kind of, expose people to the stuff that we're doing, and it helps the algorithm. You probably hear it all the time. It's like, what, how does it do that? Hey, it's just internet magic. So comment and share the video. Thanks so much. We will see you on the next video.